want you to imagine yourself in a crowded subway. And amongst all the busy commuters, foot traffic, something catches your eye. Bold chalk lines on a black, empty ad space. But it's not an ad, it's art. It's raw, it's immediate, it's for everyone. This is Keith's world, Keith's Haring world. Art that lived on the streets. I want to introduce Keith Haring, not just as an artist, but as an activist. And although his life was short, I want to introduce y'all to the cultural footprint that he left, even to today. As we get into him, I'm going to break down his life and legacy into 4 parts. His early life, growing up in Pennsylvania, and then eventually finding his footing in New York. His bold, unique art style. Using his art as activism. And his lasting legacy that he has left on the world. In 1978, Keith was born in 1958 in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, in which he found his childhood filled with cartoons and drawing, and he took a more creative approach to life rather than a traditional one. In 1978, he'd find himself moving to New York to attend the School of Visual Arts, in which he would be surrounded by hip-hop culture, graffiti artists, and it gave him a fuel that would ignite the spark of his passion for art. He wanted to connect with the people of the city, not just the fellow artists that he was attending school with. He found that he didn't want to wait for gallery spaces. He wanted to, like I mentioned, connect with the people. He wanted to take it upon himself to find the gallery spaces. These public spaces included things such as the subway, as I mentioned. Keith's style is instantly recognizable, with bold black lines, vibrant colors, and shapes that almost seem to dance. His unique style is not just recognizable, but meaningful. He wanted to separate the wealthy collectors with the everyday man. He believed that his art in the everyday world was just as valuable as the art that was in these high-class museums and galleries. Between 1980 and 1985, he created over 5,000 artworks just on those black spaces, often finishing works within minutes, and often also being accompanied with a crowd. Later, he curated murals and sculptures. He even opened the pop shop in 1986 to sell designs on shirts and pins and posters, etc., to make his art even more accessible. He didn't just want to create art to entertain. He wanted to create a culture to inspire young artists, to inspire people that maybe didn't have the advantages in life that other people may have. He wanted to address issues with his art, such as apartheid, drug addiction, and most notably, AIDS. In 1988, he was diagnosed with AIDS. And he wanted to spend the rest of his time to spread awareness and inform his community on the issues that affect them. For example, we have here one of his most famous works, a mural titled "Crack is Whack." Of course, this is in reference to the epidemic of the crack addiction in big cities, but really across the country. He worked with children to paint murals in different hospitals, and he even began his own foundation, the Keith Haring Foundation, to fund programs for kids' art education and for AIDS education. Keith died in 1990 at just 31 years old. And even though his art is still in museums and galleries, it's most important that we see that his art is still with the common man, on social media, on your clothing, on anything you can find in the world. Today he continues on his legacy through his foundation and his programs to inspire influence within his community. He said, "The public has a right to art." And that's not just something he said, he lived in. Although that life that he lived was short, he showed every day that art is for everyone. Now, I just want to recap real quick. We went through several parts of Keith's life. We began in the early life in Pennsylvania, saw his growth in New York. We talked about his unique and bold style, his use of art in activism, and ultimately the lasting legacy that he has. Keith Haring drew lines, but not to separate, but to connect, to unite, to inspire. He wanted to give voices to those who felt as though they didn't always have them. Thank you.